The Lives of the Saints by the Reverend Alban Butler, taken from the 4th edition, published in 1954. December 19th, St. Nemesion and Other Martyrs. In the persecution of Decius, Nemesion, an Egyptian, was apprehended at Alexandria upon an indictment for theft. The servant of Christ easily cleared himself of that charge, but was immediately accused of being a Christian. Hereupon he was sent to the augustal prefect of Egypt, and confessing his faith at his tribunal, he was ordered to be scourged and tormented doubly more grievously than the thieves. After which he was condemned to be burnt with the most criminal amongst the robbers and other malefactors, whereby he had the honor and happiness more perfectly to imitate the death of our divine Redeemer. There stood at the same time near the prefect's tribunal 4 soldiers, named Ammon, Zeno, Ptolemy, and Ingenuus, and another person whose name was Theophilus, who, being Christians, boldly encouraged a confessor who was hanging on the rack. They were soon taken notice of and presented to the judge, who condemned them to be beheaded, but was himself astonished to see the joy with which they walked to the place of execution. Heron, Ater, and Isidore, Egyptians, with Dioscorus, a youth only 15 years old, were all committed at Alexandria in the same persecution. First of all, the judge took the youth in hand and began to entreat him with fair speeches. Then he assailed him with various torments. But the generous youth neither would bow at his flatteries, nor could he be terrified or broken by his threats or torments. The rest, after enduring the most cruel rending and disjointing of their limbs, were burnt alive. But the judge discharged Dioscorus on account of the tenderness of his years, saying he allowed him time to repent and consult his own advantage, and expressing that he was struck with admiration at the dazzling beauty of his countenance. In the Roman martyrology, St. Nemesion is commemorated on the 19th of December, the rest of these martyrs on other days. Saints Moiris and Thea, 2 holy women at Gaza and Palestine, when the persecution raged in that city under the successors of Diocletian, bore up bravely against all the cruelty of men and malice of the devil, and triumphed over both to the last moment. Moiris died under the hands of the persecutors, but Thea languished some time after she had passed through a dreadful variety of exquisite torments, as we learn from the author of the life of St. Porphyrius of Gaza, written about the close of the 4th century. Their relics were deposited in a church which bore the name of St. Timothy. Can we call to mind the fervor of the saints in laboring and suffering cheerfully for God, and not feel a holy ardor glow in our own breasts, and our souls strongly affected with their heroic sentiments of virtue? This St. Macarius of Egypt used to illustrate by the following familiar apothegm. As he that goes into a shop where there are ointments and perfumes, and takes a few turns in it, though he neither buys nor tastes of anything, yet he enjoys the scent and is perfumed thereby, even so he that converses with the Holy Fathers or reads their actions derives a salutary influence with them. They show him true humility, and both their discourses and example are of service, and as a wall and fence against the incursions of demons.